And he just had a fabulous meeting with the president of the Federalist Society, Leonard Leo, where they discussed Mr. Trump's list of 21 Supreme Court nominees that he had put out during the campaign. I think an issue that was very important to many voters. If you look at the media exit polls, about 1/5 of voters said the Supreme Court was important to their decision, and 60% of them voted for him. So during the election, candidate Donald Trump put forth in a public fashion his list of 21 possible Supreme Court nominees, and he said that he would choose from that list. And he made very clear that everyone on that list had a couple things in common. First, they're qualified to serve in the United States Supreme Court, and secondly, they are in the mold of the late great Justice Antonin Scalia. So that is still the case, and he's very engaged. I think for all the talk about filling out his senior staff and appointing a cabinet, he also is very focused on the Supreme Court vacancy.
We wouldn't do that to you. We wouldn't do that to you.
It's a big job, and Mr. Trump, most of all, President-elect Trump is very engaged. He's up there informing his federal government, meeting with advisors, meeting with possible candidates for these different positions. So it's actually going very well. I don't understand those reports, just like I didn't understand being asked by the press pool today if Mr. Trump is here in New York or in D.C. He's here. So we'll lessen the conspiracy theories, and we'll just have open communication, and he's here doing the job of the president-elect.
I appreciate that. Do you?
President-elect Donald Trump met with the Federalist Society, a conservative law group, on Wednesday, November 16th, as he decides who to nominate to the U.S. Supreme Court. Speaking with journalists outside of Trump Tower in Manhattan, Trump's campaign manager and strategist, Kellyanne Conway, said Trump met with Leonard Leo, the executive vice president of the Federalist Society, to discuss the 21 people Trump listed as potential replacements for the late Justice Antonin Scalia, who died in February. During the election, candidate Donald Trump put forth in a public fashion his list of 21 possible Supreme Court nominees, and he said that he would choose from that list. And he made very clear that everyone on that list had a couple things in common. First, they are qualified to serve in the United States Supreme Court. And secondly, that they are in the mold of the late, great Justice Antonin Scalia. So that is still the case, and he's very engaged. I think for all the talk about filling out his senior staff and appointing a cabinet, he is also very focused on the Supreme Court vacancy, said Conway. Trump's Supreme Court appointment, possibly the first of multiple picks, would allow him to restore the decades-long conservative majority on the bench, which looked under threat when conservative Justice Antonin Scalia died. The shorthanded court currently is split with 4 conservatives and 4 liberals.